Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today, we are doing something a little bit different and honestly a whole lot of fun. Instead of just kind of walking you through the latest research step by step, we're actually turning this Explainer into an interactive game show. We've combed through some of the absolute densest, most cutting-edge white papers and frameworks on AI security, red teaming, and prompting engineering, and we've distilled all that complex information down into the ultimate AI security and prompting challenge.
So I've got to ask, do you have what it takes? Are you ready to really test your expertise against real-world data from the OWASP Top 10, HackerOne, and some seriously advanced academic research? Because whether you're a seasoned AI developer, a security researcher, or honestly just someone who is fascinated by how these large language models actually work under the hood, this is your chance to see exactly where you stand.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here are the rules of the game. I'm going to give you 5 multiple-choice questions. We're going to start at the easy foundational level, just to build up some confidence, and then we're going to escalate all the way up to expert territory. For each question, I'll read out the 4 options. I want you to mentally lock in your answer before I reveal the solution. All right, let's see if you can get a perfect score.
Okay, level 1. We're starting off nice and easy with a very foundational prompt engineering concept. What is the primary difference between zero-shot and few-shot prompting?
Here are your options. Is it A? Zero-shot provides a single example, while few-shot provides no examples. Is it B? Zero-shot relies entirely on pre-trained knowledge, while few-shot embeds multiple examples in the prompt. What about C? Zero-shot modifies the model's weights, while few-shot only modifies the context window. Or D? Zero-shot is used to prevent hallucinations, while few-shot is used exclusively for code generation. Think about it for a second. 3, 2, 1. Lock it in.
And the correct answer is B. If you got that right, fantastic job. You are officially on the board.
Let's actually break down why. A huge misconception, which option C totally tried to trick you with, by the way, is that prompting somehow changes the model's underlying weights. It absolutely doesn't. Zero-shot prompting is just when you give the AI a direct instruction without any examples, forcing it to rely completely on what it already knows from its massive training data. Few-shot prompting, on the other hand, leverages something called in-context learning. This is basically where you drop 2 or more examples directly into your prompt. You aren't retraining the AI at all. You're just showing it a pattern right there in the context window so it can recognize the specific format or logic that you're looking for.
All right, let's bump it up to level 2 and see how this builds. We're stepping up to medium difficulty now. We're moving from basic prompting into the world of AI red teaming. Here is your question. In the context of AI red teaming, what is the core difference between testing for AI safety versus AI security?
Let's take a look at the options. A. Safety focuses on training data. Security on user data. B. Safety uses humans. Security uses automated software. C. Safety prevents harmful content generation. Security prevents bad actors from compromising the system. Or is it D? Safety is pre-deployment, security is post-deployment. I'll give you 3 seconds. Lock in your choice.
Got it? The correct answer is C. According to the frameworks provided by HackerOne, while red teaming applies to both of these concepts, the actual end goals are completely different. AI safety is essentially all about responsible behavior. When an AI red team tests for safety, they're actively trying to trick the model into generating offensive language or, providing instructions on how to build a bomb. They're testing the ethical guardrails. AI security, on the flip side, is about defending against actual hackers. Security red teaming tests whether a bad actor can compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the systems the AI is plugged into, like causing a major data leak or executing unauthorized code.
You're doing great. We're going to stay right here at medium difficulty for level 3, but we're getting into some very specific vulnerabilities now. According to the OWASP Top 10 for LLMs, how does an indirect prompt injection occur? Your options are A. Using a foreign language to bypass safety filters. B. A malicious instruction embedded in an external source, like a website or a file, that is then processed by the LLM. C. An attacker secretly fine-tunes the model with poisoned data. Or D. The LLM basically hallucinates a prompt that attacks itself. 3 seconds on the clock. What is your guess?
Time's up. The correct answer is B. And let me tell you, this is one of the sneakiest vulnerabilities out there today.
So what's really fascinating and kind of scary here is the hidden danger of connected AI. Look, a direct prompt injection is when you, the user, type a malicious command to trick the AI. But an indirect prompt injection happens when the AI is acting as an autonomous agent. Imagine you ask your AI assistant to summarize a web page or, say, read an incoming email. If a hacker has hidden a malicious instruction in invisible white text on that web page or buried inside that email document, the AI reads it, processes it as a valid instruction, and just executes it without you ever knowing. It's essentially tricking the AI through a completely secondary external source. Wild, right?
Okay, things are definitely heating up now. We're entering level 4, hard difficulty. This is where architecture and high-level strategy really come into play. When adapting a general-purpose LLM for a specific enterprise use case, when should an organization choose fine-tuning over prompt engineering?
Let's weigh these out. A. When you need a cheap, quick prototype deployed in a matter of hours. B. When you lack large labeled datasets but just want to change the model's tone. C. When you require specialized domain knowledge, have extensive training data, and need consistent outputs at a massive scale. Or D. When you need to guarantee 100% immunity against prompt injection. Think really carefully about the trade-offs here. Lock it in.
The correct answer is C. Honestly, if you nailed this one, you are operating at a senior architectural level for sure.
And this is a perfect illustration of the resource divide in AI adaptation. See, fine-tuning actually does adjust the underlying weights of the model. Because of that, it requires massive amounts of custom labeled data, really heavy compute costs, and a whole lot of time. You generally only do this when you need the model to internalize deep, specialized domain knowledge and produce highly consistent outputs at an enterprise scale. Prompt engineering, however, is for quick, cheap prototyping where you're just guiding the model's existing knowledge. Oh, and to address option D, actually scratch the idea of a silver bullet. Neither of these methods, not even full fine-tuning, guarantees 100% immunity to prompt injections.
And here we are, we've reached the summit, level 5, expert. This one is pulled straight from some very recent academic security research. The JATMA defense strategy attempts to mitigate prompt injection. What is its primary mechanism, and what is its known limitation?
Prepare yourself. These are dense. Is it A? It uses an auxiliary GPT-4 model to filter inputs, but this causes massive latency. B. It randomly alters parameters at runtime, which unfortunately degrades accuracy. C. It strictly limits the context window to 50 tokens, preventing complex answers. Or D. It fine-tunes a base model for a narrow task so it naturally ignores instructions, though it can still be bypassed by advanced disruptors. Take a deep breath. 3, 2, 1. Lock it in.
Moment of truth. The correct answer is D. Seriously, if you got this right, consider yourself an absolute AI security master.
Let's unpack this, because it is fascinating. JATMO stands for Jack of all trades, master of one. The theory behind it is brilliant. Most prompt injections work simply because modern LLMs are literally trained to follow instructions. They want to be helpful. So JATMO takes a raw, non-instruction-tuned base model and fine-tunes it to do only one specific task, like, say, just summarizing text. Because the model was never taught to follow arbitrary commands in the first place, it naturally just ignores injected instructions. However, recent tests using genetic attack frameworks like HOUI have proven that JATMO isn't completely bulletproof. Adversaries can actually still bypass it by using multilingual cues or embedding instructions inside code destructors. It really proves there's always a trade-off between a model's usefulness and its vulnerability.
So the real question is, how many out of 5 did you get right? Whether you scored a perfect 5 or you just learned 5 brand new things about AI security today, the landscape of large language models is shifting incredibly fast. This battle between prompt engineers pushing models to their absolute limits and security red teams trying to lock them down is literally the defining technological arms race of our time. As AI agents gain more and more autonomy, asking the right questions and knowing exactly how those systems can be exploited will be your greatest asset. Keep testing, keep questioning, and thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.